in the backseat. Run up the tab like a track meet. Take out the gals, put the gals in the backseat. 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 Run up the tab like a track meet. Take out the gals, put the gals in the backseat. Yeah. Oh my. I ain't never seen someone look so fly. Pretty skin tone, it caught my eye. You a heavenly being, when did I die? Pardon me, I'm just your type. Don't start with me, I'm not about hype. You could garden me and I just might grow to be everything you like. That's awesomeness. Can I witness your flawlessness? Need a little of your bossiness. They say time is money and your time to get costly. Miss you the hood girl with the brains like a scholar. Good girl, but you're looking for a baller. Need the blue strips on your dollars, but take your number when she ready, she'll call ya.
Run up the tab like a track meet. Take out the gals, put the gals in the backseat.
Backseat. Backseat. Backseat. Run up the tab like a track meet. Take out the gals, put the gals in the backseat. Run up the tab like a track meet. Take out the gals, put the gals in the backseat. Run up the tab like a track meet. Take out the gals, put the gals in the backseat. Backseat.
Can you hear me now? Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Amazing. All right. It's always the same. For some reason, when I play the music, then it just doesn't, let me speak anymore. I think the music is just too good. Thanks everyone for joining. It's actually not our seventh all hands; it's our eighth, all hands. But I would like to welcome you here. I'm so happy to see a lot of, familiar faces, but also some new faces. I think we have a very, very exciting agenda today. I think I can speak for everyone who's going to speak today that we're all very excited to have you guys here. I want to say hi to a couple of people. I see Salar, I see Rudy, I see Chet, I see Doge. Hello Ryan, hello Gate, hello Pagu. I also see Dr. Jose Sanchez. I need you as a speaker, I believe. So it would be great if you could accept our invite to speak. Jose, that would be awesome. I see Qubic Hodler, I see Jeremy. Welcome you guys. It's awesome to have you here. So this is the agenda for today. We actually have a debut of Marvin, who will actually be presenting QubicBay today. So very exciting, to learn more about what they guys have worked on and their marketplace. Later on, we'll also be having, I think, Mr. Rose and also Elish and perhaps also Albert that's speaking about everything that's going on within ecosystem services. I saw that Jotel was adding a quick few notes on all the stuff that happened within CoreTech. I'll be giving you guys a quick update on what's going on the operations and strategy side of things within core services. As you can probably see, also Retro has joined us to talk with me a little bit more about the stuff that has been happening within the ambassador program and what's coming up. And then we should also have our clip that will be, chatting about the stuff that's been going on within community management. We're going to have a full, rest of the hour. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them here in the chat. But maybe for oversight, what might be more handy is that you drop them in the AMA channel. Let's see, where's the AMA channel? Like if somebody could maybe link the AMA channel here in the chat, then we could also use it as a great source to leave your questions for the for the speakers today. All right, without further ado, I would like to start with our first update of today. Marvin, how's it going? Marvin or Martin?
Hi everyone. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Martin. I'm an artist. And so one little thing before starting the presentation. I want to say that I'm not part of the QubicBay team, but I work on various NFT projects, including the Cubes collection. So I've been closely helping the team run tests on the QubicBay testnet. And since Pepito, whom is the project leader, couldn't be here today, he asked me to present this information on his behalf. All right?
Yeah, very nice. And I also see that Rudy said that you're the artist goat of CFB.
Yeah, yeah, I do that too.
Nice.
Nice to meet
Well,
you. Nice to meet you, by the way. Okay.
It's awesome to have you here, and kick it off, man. It's all yours.
Okay. All right. Can you change the slide? The next one. All right. Okay. So let's talk about QubicBay and what the team is trying to achieve with this project. QubicBay aims to bring NFTs to the Qubic chain by providing users with an autonomous and decentralized tool that will create a whole new economy and make the ecosystem more engaging and attract new communities and resources. So the team believes that an NFT marketplace is necessary to bridge the gap between the Qubic ecosystem and other well-established blockchains. Because NFTs have shown they can attract more casual users, and that is exactly the kind of people needed to reach mainstream adoption. Additionally, NFTs will open doors for artists like myself who would be encouraged to create on our emerging ecosystem, bringing fresh perspectives and possibilities for future development. So this is a great opportunity to showcase the potential of Qubic ecosystem to the wider crypto community. Okay, next slide, and we'll get into the specifics. Previous one, sorry. Okay. So what makes QubicBay special is its dual token nature, using both Qubic coin and CFB token. The CFB token is the only token that gives access to creating new NFTs or collections. On the other hand, Qubic coin will be the only coin that can be used to mint the actual NFTs, establishing a completely new economy for Qubic. So to summarize, the CFB token allows you to create NFTs and collection, while Qubic coin is used to mint them. All right? And maybe just to clarify what minting an NFT means, it's simply the process of converting a digital file into a digital asset on the blockchain. All right? You can think it's like stamping a coin. You're creating something unique that can be owned and traded. All right. Okay, next slide. So here is a preview of the QubicBay marketplace, at least some part of it. This is the create page. As you can see in the red box, you need to spend CFBs to create NFTs or collections. Next. This drop-down menu, no, previous one, yes. This drop-down menu shows all the different packages you can purchase using the CFB token from 200 to 10,000 slots. Next. So once you've created the collection, you can upload your images on this page. So this is an empty collection. I use the one I'm working on. So next slide. So adding images is quite simple. It's just a drag and drop. What's interesting is that the NFTs available for minting will reflect what you have actually uploaded. For example, for my cubes collection, I will buy 1000 slots package, but I will only upload 676 images because that works better for my project. All right. So you don't have to fill all the slots. Next. Okay. Here we can see the created drop collection with the mint button. Next. And here is an example of a successful minting with the updated counter showing 1 out of 1000 minted. Okay. What's really important to understand is that the marketplace is completely decentralized. So anyone can connect their wallet and create their collection. This reflects the freedom of expression that's central to Qubic and blockchain technology in general. It's also important for users to always verify the originality of any collection or NFT they plan to mint. To help with this, the team will add some sort of check mark next to the authentic collections in order to make it easier to identify legitimate offerings. Yeah, I think that's all. So the team and myself are really excited about the upcoming marketplace release, and we hope you're looking forward to it too. Oh,
Nice.
and maybe one last thing. There is no ETA at the moment, so no need to ask when. All right.
Okay, well understood. Hey, and this is like as far as I understand, right? Like this is a community project. This is self-built, right, by Papito, basically.
Yeah, Pepito. There is also Polly, who made the smart contract, and
Very nice.
Serendipity, who is doing all the UI, I think.
Very cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for presenting today.
My pleasure.
I think this was an awesome debut, and I hope that maybe in I don't know, like a month from now or something, we can tap on your shoulder once more to see where you've gotten. But yeah, I think this is a great example of how to see how community members can actually contribute themselves to building out the Qubic network, right? And I think that by itself is extremely admirable. Like I saw the question of somebody like, why do we need NFTs? Well, that's basically because Papito thinks that we need them. And I think in addition, I think like NFTs are still a great way, I think, to attract new investors also to the network. So I think it's great that this is coming from the community. Next, we're coming to ecosystem. Mr. Rose, are you going to chat or is it Albert?
Yeah, it's gonna be me. Hi everyone.
Hi, it's so good to see you, man. Here. What are you going to talk about?
First, we wanted to talk about the communication channels and how the ecosystem services is going to use it. because yeah, it's true that it's been a while that we've been working internally, and from now on, we hear the community, and we want to be more open and share how things are going in a more, let's say, regular way. So in order to do that on a little bit more structure, we're going to use the following channels. There is no new channel actually. It's just how we're going to use it. Basically, the announcement channel will be led by the work groups representatives, so Talent, Jen, Choutom, and Albert. There you will find major announcements from the ecosystem side. For instance, it will probably be new partnership, future hackathons or events, or if there's a new paper that's going to be released, things like that will be published there. If you go to a more tactical level, then we move to the ecosystem announcement channel. There we'll be publishing mainly updates from projects. But when I mean updates, I mean project onboard, when a new project is being released to production, things like that. Also, the bi-weekly financial report that we'll be releasing hopefully tomorrow, I think, if not next Monday. So in order that you are up to date for not major updates, but regular ones, you will find the info there. And finally, we'll use the ecosystem channels, the ones that we have per project, where we will be, I would say, weekly, maybe bi-weekly if there is no many changes. We will be there releasing all the updates. Recently this week, Aleix already released the Botun update. Well, also the Botun, Nostromo, and another one I can't remember now. Also, we released the testnet update. So yeah, the participants will be specifically Aleix and Sigurd as the product owners from the ecosystem services team, and also all the developers. So all the owners of the project will be updating you there. What else? The community all hands will be participating also to update you. This is an example of the changes that we wanted to communicate with you, and you'll hear about us in X or other social networks via marketing. So there, Jen and her team will help us to update a broader community. Yeah, that's all from the communication channel side. I don't know if Aleix joined. If not, I'm going to. Yeah, I'll cover him. Now I want you to update how is grants and incubation going. As you know, we were a little bit stuck for different reasons with the three major projects that we have now, which is Nostromo, Botun, and QSwap, basically the Qubic Uniswap. And we have something to do. We want to update to you. On the Nostromo side, we finally managed to find C++ developer who's going to help us develop the smart contract that was pending to do from our side, from Qubic side. And here are the releasing dates. So we are very confident that by June 25, we will be pushing to mainnet. So hopefully by I would say by mid first week or the second week of July, the whole project will be launched on mainnet. Regarding Bottom, same thing. I want to. I do want also to. I do want also to thank the core team, core tech team, who's helping us. Thank you very much for your support, because we are working jointly with core team and the Bottom team to develop what's left. Things are going quite good. I'm not sure which are the release dates. I need to check internally with Aleix, but I see there's a lot of internal activity, and core tech is helping us. So thanks for that. Sorry. There's the slide is not correct. Apologies. The critical piece, what you see in QSwap, should be under bottoms. So bottom is the one that's a critical piece pending to develop, and we are working with the core tech. Sorry for that. And now going to QSwap. QSwap is already on testnet. Alej pushed it, I think 3 or 4 days ago. It's going to be there for a couple of weeks, so we encourage all the community to use it and test it and send us feedback. Because after these 2 weeks, we'll be auditing the smart contract too, just for an extra security layer. And I stop here. I hand over, I think it's to, oh, sorry. What is our professor? Did he left?
Yeah, I just no, I see him here. Wait, let me just invite him again.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see him. Not sure if it's working though. Let's see. Ah, there he is, or not.
Now, I think he's trying to join through the phone. Maybe he has some connectivity issues.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, let's wait.
Meanwhile, how can the community participate in the, for example, QSwap test? What do they have to do?
Well, they just can connect to the QForge. In QForge, this is the app that we have to test smart contracts. You can already directly intestnet. We have a faucet, so you can request Qubic testnet tokens, and you can start applying to the functions that they have already. I don't know whether the front end is already live or not, but this is an initial phase where everybody can test. Also, it's important to have a connection with Sepolia, the Ethereum Sepolia, because we are connected the bridge into Sepolia. So this is the way. So if you find an error, if you find anything, let us know. Also, you will be prepared once the smart contract and the bridge is in mainnet. You will know how it works. So it's an advantage for you.
Is there a channel, or let's say a documentation, how to start or where to place the questions?
Yes, it's in the. Let me see where is it, because it's in the Discord. There is a bottom channel. Yeah, there is a bottom channel, so you can ask all the questions there. The last post from Latio, it explains, how we can see it. And if not, you will it doesn't explain everything, but you will have it, once we have what's the process for the testing and also the documentation.
Okay, sorry, maybe I'm confused. Is it now Watum which can be tested, or the QSwap?
QSwap, sorry, yeah, our fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, their swap.
Yeah.
It's QSwap. Yes, the last chat under the group of ecosystem.
It will yeah.
Okay, so I will pin the message for everyone here. I will pin the message in the QSwap channel, which explains how to test. That's
Very
the one
nice.
from Latio, right?
Yeah.
Okay, understand.
Nice. Dr. Jose Sanchez, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
very nice. Very nice. It's so good
Nice
to
to
have
meet
you
you.
here. Finally
Yeah.
digital, not live.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I believe you have an update for us.
Yes. Can you see that? Yeah, I see. You can see the slide. So I will explain briefly. Well, we are finishing a new scientific paper just today, and as you know, our project AGARTH aims to replicate the human brain. And what David and I have prepared is an analysis of certain neuronal and synaptic features. That's the way that the neurons communicate. as a proposal of a model, and we put a name to this model. We've called it Neuraxon. And as you know, in large language models, they are quite static, like an on-off operation, so to speak. And while these approaches are remarkable and they have successes, from our perspective, they cannot by themselves lead to AGI. Hence, this is our proposal of this model of Neuraxon. And we have built some parameters to reflect like a living architecture, which resembles our biology. And for that purpose, Neuraxon, this model that we are going to create to finish as a scientific paper, could serve for AGARTH as an implementation concept, as an idea, or maybe as a way to compare against the current approaches. Huh? So regarding AGI, this is our path, and we want to make sure that we deepen our understanding of decentralized systems, and we aim to identify and share the Qubic's potential role in all of this. Huh? So we have just finished this paper, and now in next months we are facing what we consider two very important milestones. In July, in Geneva, hosts the AI for Good Summit, which is a very famous summit, and it's like a global showcase for AI. And by extension, it would be interesting, we think, for Qubic to understand the impact of AI for good. It's like talking. It's like a metaphor of a Davos meeting for the economy. Huh? And next month in August, there's a huge AGI conference, and in that conference, it gathers all the leading AGI researchers, and we plan to present our new paper there in this conference for August, the Neuraxon that I explained before. And again, to understand the impact of this conference, this is the place where everything about AGI is happening now, and any idea for the future is happening in this kind of AGI conference. Huh? So again, as a metaphor, it's like the Manhattan Project for the atomic bomb, huh? So to speak. So this is the play for AGI, and all the ideas, all the proposals, all the intentions, the people, the possible clients for Qubic are there in the AGI conference or in the AI for Good. Huh? So we consider that it'd be important for Qubic to have a presence, huh? To spread the word again in this kind of events. Huh? And because in events like this, maybe we could create and start to establish more collaborations, synergies, future clients that these events and could generate. And I think this is what we think this is vital for Qubic. And that's why we are seeking for the community's support for this project, for keep going on in this road. And of course, all of our work is available to the ecosystem, to reinforce the CFB leadership, and to propose with this Neuraxon model, with this second paper, to propose very concrete ideas, implementation ideas, and to establish a roadmap. And we feel that this roadmap in which Qubic stands, we could be shoulder to shoulder with the global decentralized AI and blockchain communities everywhere. Huh? So to wrap up, I'm not going to talk too much. We are on our second paper, modeling human brain neurons, synapses, and networks. This paper could be like a possible implementation, ideas, and even help for AGARTH, and we are ready to spread Qubic in these two remarkable venues in Geneva and Iceland in July and August if it's possible, and if with the community could support us.
Very nice, sir. Hey, Artem, could you maybe give us like a, what is it? Maybe like a 1 or 2 minute rundown on how you experienced the trip to Singapore? Like,
Oh yes.
how can we imagine like how that went? I
Mhm.
believe that there's like a very nice blog coming out also, but maybe you can, just share your insights.
Well, it was astonishing because there were 10,000 people, and almost 8,000 researchers were from Asia, which is like quite shocking. And there were many projects regarding AI with any subject, any item that you could imagine. And interestingly, there were not many AGI projects at all, but the most important keynotes in the conference, these are the ones who start every single day, they were related with AGI. So there were two Chinese AGI keynotes from Chinese full professors, and another one from US. So we think that this is going to be the trend, looking for AGI, and we build like 8 or 9 little conferences, and gathering people together, and we talk with people. We met many people, and we talked people about AGARTH, about Qubic, about blockchain decentralized, about D-Science. So we were starting many collaborations and get people to know this proposal. And maybe you will understand with one example. Even the Princeton full professor for AI, she was worried because even in Princeton University, they didn't have enough GPU power for their performances, for the data, and for the projects. So imagine the impact that Qubic could offer to universities, institutions, scientific places, for using the network and the blockchain and the decentralized. So it's a long road because we have to talk to many people. We need to offer some very valuable and remarkable things, not only ideas. But it was wonderful. It was exhausting too, but it's like being in the future, attending this kind of conferences. So it was a pleasure to spread the work for Qubic there.
Awesome, and so great to hear that we stand out, right, in our own way. That's really amazing. And I also thought that you and I believe David Ivankos, right, you guys were the most requested members to have a meeting with, or what was the leadership board?
Yes, because in each conference you have like an app for the cell phone, and then in the app you can upload photos, you can upload papers, you can share ideas. So our goal before reaching Singapore was to be the leaders of the community. So we we were wondering how could everybody know us and know our project. So let's be all all day with the cell phone, doing things for the community, and get Qubic better known for more people. That was our idea, and we got it. We got it, the first and second place of this app for the
Nice.
conference.
Nice. All right, that's so cool. Thank you so much, Jose, for joining us today. I think if folks who have any questions, then they will probably ask them at the end. That's also my question to the rest of the community. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the AMA channel. This is where we can actually collect also the questions, because what happens, I see that the chat is very busy, right? So your questions might move up and also get forgotten a bit. So if you leave them in the AMA channel, then I can make sure that we won't leave anyone behind. Thank you so much, Jose. I will move on to the next one. We move from Jose to Jotom. How are you, Jotom?
Fine, thanks. Hello, everybody. Yeah, as usual, I keep it short on the all hands. You guys know that you can always find the full list what we are working on GitHub. So I just pick up some highlights from the last weeks. I'm gonna start with the Monero XMR POC, which we wanted to go online this week. It was moved 1 week because in the ultimate testing phase, we found out that the efficiency how the XMR shares are delivered to the upstream pool were not enough. So we changed this, gave the pool operators and the computer operators 1 more week to adapt, and we'll start with the revenue calculation next week. So that's the most asked question from the community. We will start hopefully, if nothing changes drastically, next week. One of the nicest features I have seen in the changelog for the last weeks is the burning of assets, tokens. This means that it enables new possibilities. So, for example, if anybody wants to launch a token, a coin on Qubic, they can do so. They can define a like how many of them they want to issue. Like I want to have 20 million, so you can issue 20 million, and then you can also later reduce this by burning them. So it's a cool functionality which was requested from QCap maybe, I don't know. There was a request, and so we did it, and it's already running, so we can use it. What the integration team has built was the RPC 2.0 production infrastructure. This is right now deployed. This will allow to query much more information from the Qubic network in an easier way than today. It will allow you to, or let's say the developers or the tool developers or the dashboard developers can now easier query information about the Qubic network. What was also really nice, we had the tech AMA with Luke, where he explained exactly this RPC 2.0 production infrastructure, how it works, how it is built, what are the basics of it, and how will it be working in the future. We did something for better decentralization of the Qubic core network. So in easy words, the computers which are running the core network are now forced to sign their votes with random key. This means that, for example, if an operator runs several computers on one node, the cost is higher, so he is basically forced to separate on more nodes. The reason behind is that we want to grow the network, so we slowly start to forcing the operators to add more nodes to the network. That's the reasoning behind. And one of the coolest feature, technically wise, is the virtual memory, which was built by DCAT. This is something I hope the most of you guys already know, that the complete epoch from Qubic is running from memory. That is one of the reasons why Qubic network is so speedy, because we don't need to save information on the disk. But of course, this has some drawbacks. For example, in the event logging. The event logging is the system which records everything what happens on the chain. If there are, let's say, millions of events, millions of transfers, so what we actually experienced in the speed audit, then the memory to keep all these events was too small. And so what we did, or what DCAT built, was he made a virtual memory where we can save it to this virtual memory, and in the background, asynchronous, it is written to the disk to ensure that all the events can be catched and we don't lose any information about what's happening in the chain. I know these are all some some of them are really technical details. I'm happy, or we are happy to also answer how this technically really works. So if you have some of these questions, don't feel ashamed. Just come to any channel and ask, hey guys, how is this working? How do we do this or whatever? If you are a techie, if you're a developer, you will find everything open sourced on GitHub. Feel free to go there and look into what was made. Yeah, for the next week, I already said is the big goal that we go live with the Mono XMR POC. And we had one important information. We had a embargo on the mining or the AI training algorithm change. For those which are longer with us, know that Qubic traditionally changes its mining algorithm every 3 months, 4 months, something like this. Because now we are going live with the Monero XMR, we left this embargo of changing the mining algorithm and we'll start with these cycles again. This will hopefully also help the development of HCI because we can now adjust the algorithm to our needs, or let's say to the needs for iGuard. And yeah, we discussed that most probably we're gonna go into a 2, maybe 3 month cycle of changing the mining algorithms. So will be exciting time ahead of us to go into this already known changing of mining algorithm in the future, which we have left the last few months. That's from my side for the moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jotom. And indeed, also highly recommend to join, the tech AMAs that, Jotom and his team are organizing. I think last week we had Luke, who was actually talking about the RPC, which I think he did amazingly well. And I hope that also Jotom and the rest of the team will continue to organize these, these tech AMAs. I think it's really cool to see like a technical deep dive on what the guys are building. I believe that we're trying to get Latio to speak. Previously, Aleš.
Hey, yeah, do you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can hear you.
Very good. Yeah, I just wanted to give a quick update to incubation. Sorry for the delay. I had some issues with my computer. Yeah, basically, with Botum, they are on their own testnet that we provide for them, and they're testing the contract. They are still trying to figure out some things from the smart contract with the order ID. I think the test notes are helping all the teams to go faster, so thanks Cortec for that. And yeah, they're still trying to figure out some critical pieces and having daily checkups with them to see where they're stuck and maybe communicate with other teams. But yeah, they're making good progress and they aim to launch Q2. But as I said, I think we're going to start doing writing updates. I think Mr. Rose announced that. On the channels, you can ask any questions and also the teams are there. So yeah, they are working on it. They aim to launch Q2 and we will try to unblock them, us, Cortec, and all the teams, but it's up to them. And then QSwap, the contract is on the testnet. Basically, the testnet is, we are running the testnet with the ecosystem server, but Cortec is giving us all the help. Qubic is being super useful to deploy new smart contracts, testing things out. And basically, the smart contract, I was testing it. We have a couple of problems getting the information from the pools. I posted the contract on QSwap if anyone wants to read it. They're using QX to emit tokens. And basically, our idea is once they fix those stuff, launch them on the testnet 2 weeks so everyone can test them. One learning that we had with QSwap is that their proposal doesn't include a front end. So in that case, I will be coding a front end, so a UI, so we can use the app. And future proposals for incubation, we will require teams to be fully independent, to launch their own smart contract and to launch their own front end. But yeah, in the meantime, we know that we are not going to suggest a contract going to IPO without anyone to be able to use it apart from the CLI. So we will figure that out. But yeah, the teams are making progress. Like you can see in each team project, their update that I sent, and any questions, we will try to be posting updates there as things are developing. And yeah, everything is in works. And Nostromo, I think everyone knows that the timelines, and we're working on the requirements. From the Nostromo part, I probably will send a document next week saying everything that we are requesting for the smart contract. So you all know what the smart contract will have, how it will work. Well, we still need to code it and figure out the logic. But we want to involve. We got the feedback from the community to be more transparent and involve everyone in the incubation project, and that's what we're aiming to do. So any feedback on that also will be welcome.
Nice. I think your your attendance here was so well that Bitcoin just hit 101K. Thank you so much, Alex.
Pleasure. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to DM me. Feel free to use the channels of each project. Again, we want to be as transparent as possible. Thank you, Talent, for organizing it.
You're welcome. All right. I think we go from Mexico to Spain. El Clip, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you listen
Cool.
me?
Yes, yes,
That's
we
great.
are.
Great.
I think you're here to give an update on community management and also what you guys have been working on.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. First of all, I want to say that it's a pleasure and an honor to be here and speaking for the community, and very grateful also for all the community team efforts, which have been a lot. And yeah, I wanted to give some info about what's happening, what's new in the community team. So first thing is that we are like in a more professionalization stage right now. So we are going to start implementing different aspects, like more transparency. So for this, we have already opened a community team channel where everyone can ask or query or maybe look for explanations about any measure the community team takes. So the idea for that is to increase transparency and basically to onboard everybody in the decisions we make, which we believe is very important. And we will be also giving some surveys or recaps about what we are doing or what the community is asking us to do. Okay, next thing, representation. Yeah, this is about a new way of taking decisions. Well, first of all, we come from a system where we have like an arbitration system where a few moderators had the responsibility to decide on several cases. So from now on, it's going to be the whole team who is going to be involved in these decisions. So this is much more representative from the whole team. This is much more plural. And also the scope is to increase the improvements in the decision chain. Okay, next thing is coverage. Yeah, this is also a way to thanks also the community. And when I say community, I'm also speaking about the pools, the mining pools, because I believe it's a very important part of our community also. And this is a way when we want to give them some services for also their professionality or their help. So we have added some services to the pools. Right now are like moderation for Discord and Telegram. And also we are providing some customizations for their community teams. So sorry, for their Telegram groups. And we believe that in that way, we amplify our services, and also we will spread our services in a much deeper way. We hope to. So now we should go to the next slide, please. Okay. So that was what we have already implemented. Right now, what's coming is if everything allows, and when I say everything, I mean basically the price action, which is very important for our budget and for our resources. So we will implement more activities. We will return to have activities in Telegram, and we also want to extend these services to the regional communities. Not to all of them, obviously. We will try to, first of all, arrive to the communities which are bigger, which are showing more support also to the project, and then we want to grow this, if it's possible, to other communities, to all of them, basically. So the idea is to fit everybody in a more professional role, also more focused on a tier system to every community team member, to offer to every community team member the access to a tier system where they can improve their performance and they can grow in this community team. Okay, next thing is the reactivity. Yeah, this is very important because we have observed also that sometimes things happen and we don't have the tools to face them. So reactivity, it means that we are changing the approach to our guidelines. So the guidelines are going to be in our favor. So it's going to be a more dynamic approach. This is part of the community quorum. And what means is that the resolution on cases from the community quorum will serve as a reference for future cases. So we will increase our consistency on the way we apply these rules. And we also will adapt faster to new things happening. And just to finish, there is a new point, which is going to be independence. But this is something that still needs to go through the community quorum and it needs to be voted. So I won't speak much about that, but it's going to be important, I think. It's going to consolidate our presence in the community, and I think it's going to be part of these changes and this professionality approach. And that should be it. Last slide is just a big thank you to everybody, to the trust, and hope to serve and help everybody who want to chat. We have this new channel, and we are really waiting for every query to address it.
Gracias, Clip, and great job on the what is it? Great job on the update. Here you see, I said great job, and I see also that Chad is also saying great job at the same time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you're connected, you know. It's yeah, we're synced. All right. Moving to some updates, I think within core services, specifically focused on operation and strategy and some of the things that we're working on. We've actually been busy for the last couple of weeks with a few things. We are busy preparing season 3 of the Qubic Ambassador program, something that Retro and myself will talk about a little bit more in a bit. Sorry. Yeah, before this call, I just came out of a meeting with Dotom and Albert and Sally and Bertie and also Jen to basically review the roadmap. Yeah, because also that now all the proposals are approved, it's basically also time to review the roadmap and see how we can actually update it. If there are certain elements that are still relevant, maybe there are certain items that need to be moved up front, or maybe have to move to the back. And these are the conversations that we've actually just started. So I hope that within the upcoming time we will also be able to communicate that with you on the website, or maybe even through like a separate spaces or something like that, at least to make sure that we're fully transparent with some of the decisions that we've made. So within ops, we've also done a bunch of legal stuff. It's a bit boring, I would say, but I think what's important is that when you grow a project, or also that you do proper risk and also compliance management. you have to imagine is that also when Qubic started, like a lot of the initiatives that we're running, like for example exchanges or other, relationships that have something to do with Qubic, were actually done right on personal accounts, and now that we have an entity, we're actually moving all of this into institutional sort of accounts, and that means that there are some KYCs that need to happen and all that stuff, and we're in the process of moving that over. So it basically means that Qubic on that foundational side is basically professionalizing. Something else that we're also doing is working on improving the communication. I think that Mr. Rose and also Albert have shared also their intentions and also their plans on how to improve that communication, like from the ecosystem side of things. What I hope to do over the upcoming few time is to tie basically all that communication into one larger sort of communication, also making sure that all that information is accessible, maybe once per month or so that if you're a new investor, that you have access to that information through, one click. And that should include ecosystem, core tech, it could be marketing, it could be any, project that's actually building on Qubic. Because like I believe that we're doing a lot of great things, within the network, but it's just, simply not all that visible. And I think it's a bit in the nature, right, of decentralization. But I think there are some improvements that we can actually make there. Yeah, that's some of the stuff that we've been working on the up stuff. Another very large initiative that we've been working on is the ambassador program. And I won't be chatting about the ambassador program, by myself. I'm also joined by Retro. Hello, Retro.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Yeah, so this is my second time that I'm actually, doing a call also together with Retro. We've done our first, what is it, like podcast, right, with the KOL, I think last week, and I think it went so extremely well that I never want to let you go now, Retro. So we're basically here to talk about the ambassador program, right? And we would like to talk a little bit about what the ambassador program is, because we have many new joiners I've seen. What we basically have achieved, also some of the learnings, and what we would like to do in the in season 3. So maybe from your perspective, Retro, right? Because you are one of the community leads. You're specifically a community lead for the United States. What is the community ambassador program through your eyes? Like, what does it entail?
Right. So I'm not going to go over slides. I'll just give you kind of a general opinion from myself from being in the program for my second season now. There's a lot of misconceptions of what this program is, because most people think it's what they see on X. That's the ambassador program. The misconception is that what you see on X are most likely not ambassadors, or if they are ambassadors, they're probably not getting paid, because to reach the goal to where you actually get some money from the program, it's pretty high. You need to get a certain amount of views, certain amount of likes, and it's really not that easy to get there. So that's one misconception. Second one is we should do a better job in sharing our achievements. Like, for example, I consider the French community being absolutely the best and the example of our ambassador program. It's the true large community. They're doing partnerships with French media. They present at French blockchain weeks. Other communities are doing well as well. The Turkey community is speaking to universities. Nigerian communities are physically creating like large gatherings and explaining Qubic and the technology to the, physically to the people. And in the USA, we're currently already talking with MIT to be able to represent Qubic there, as well as University of Austin. And we're looking to expand the podcasts in the English language so that there are more of them, as people seem to like those. what the big push is going to be for the next season, and this is, I think, very important. We have certain underrepresented communities, and those communities are a part of there are a lot of miners in these communities, and there are a lot of computers in these communities. We have China, Russia, Korea. They are underrepresented, and we are looking to make them make certain representatives a part of our ambassador program, so that there is a communication. And this is important because we need to know their outlook on how we are doing as a team. If we don't communicate, they can't even vote on proposals, because we don't know how to structure the proposals so that it fits, their needs and their opinions as well. So the ambassador program, it's not what you see on X. It's very involved. There's a lot of going on which you don't see, and we should do a better job on sharing what's going on. And finally, pretty much the best of the ambassadors are starting to work directly with the marketing. You will see the results of that in the metrics on X. Yeah, I guess that's all that I have to say about it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Retro. Yeah, and that's absolutely true. I think we started back in January, and so at the time, I think we were with around 25 people. And indeed, at this point, I think we're with around 70 ambassadors, I think, in total. And yeah, they're spread across France, Spain, Turkey, what is it, Nigeria, and then we also have one for basically our digital nomads, so that are spread across the world, and we're calling these communities nomads. I think what's also been a really great change is that each of these communities are basically led by a community lead, like Retro or like Chad, or for example, or Clip, and they basically make sure that communications that are coming from marketing or from the ecosystem, for example, training or imported campaigns and whatnot, are actually translated to local communities. And I think it's a great way, for Qubic to make itself, scalable, and also understandable, I think, on a local level as well. For example, in Spain and in France, they do a lot of things in French or in Spanish. And I think that's very important to attract, local investors or local partners, for example. Yeah, so I just wanted to quickly also show to you folks, like, what is the impact, right, also that the program has had. So in last December, we actually organized our first event in Slovenia, thanks to ESOX, and also thanks to Rok. It was truly amazing. And after that, we organized 5 events across Spain and Turkey and also Nigeria. But we also had several ambassadors that actually supported with organizing the Madrid hackathon, which was great. What was even more great, I think, is that also the French community, they actually introduced one of the top 3 winners of the Madrid hackathon. So thanks to all our baguette friends for introducing this amazing team. And it's truly amazing to see the impact that these communities can actually have. What they're also doing, and this is actually specifically to France, is that they actually have their own media production company. They are creating their own videos. They are creating their own, for example, relationships with local influencers. Sort of up to the point that they are reaching more than 3 million views, which is truly amazing, is huge. What they're also doing, the community leads, is that they are building new communities, and they're building these communities because we feel that there is an opportunity to gather new investors or to gather new partners quickly. So they actually started to create 3 new communities: Germany, Russia, and I think since like this week or something, also China. So that's truly exciting. and yeah, we can't wait to sort of officially onboard them in season 3. Yeah, so obviously there are some things that we learned, and one of the things that we learned is that the community, it really stands and falls with engagement. So what you often see is that when you start a new community, that we have a lot of people, there's a lot of excitement, but as soon as some of the community members notice that being part of the program also requires work, then there is usually a proportion of people that actually falls off, and I think that's fine. And that's how we actually see that that only the members that will that actively contribute earn the rank of ambassador. And I think in the early days we were probably a little bit too easy with this, but I think now that we also have the community leads in place, that they're much better to assess who are the ones that are making a difference and who are the ones that need a little bit more time. Yeah, so also what else did we learn is that certain target markets like North America and specifically the United States, they need more local marketing, I think, to get Qubic out there. So yeah, you can also clearly see that I think the United States has also struggled a little bit with getting more ambassadors. So if there's anyone who is from the United States and would like to help also this community, please reach out to RetroDrive or to Space Cadet, aka Chad, and they can get you onboarded onto that community. But this is something that we will need to change in season 3, is providing more local marketing to these specific events. And I think the same also accounts for Southeast Asia. I think with China now we made a great start, but in season 3 we would love to onboard, for example, Singapore. Also, the onboarding of new ambassadors, it takes time. Like they need to understand also what they can do and also where they can find things. That's something that we need to get better at. And yeah, I think also funding, right? So it's understandable that if people put a lot of work in things, that they would like to see some sort of reward. And yeah, we've been paying the ambassadors in Qubic once they achieved also certain tasks. And yeah, the program itself, I think it got hit pretty hard from like a reward perspective in March, which basically slashed all the rewards at that point. So I think that's something that we should have done better. But at the same time, it's also a great, how to say, loyalty test, let's say, on who's willing to make, who's just with Qubic to make a buck, or who's there to move to, who's basically there to move the network further, and who's basically willing to work for their own bags. Yeah, so Retro already mentioned a little bit what we've planned for season 3. So we're looking to fully onboard Qubic Germany. Thanks to Marty, who actually started also the community, Russia, and also China. And also the community leads are already recruited, and then we hope to expand into markets like Singapore and also Korea, because we know that there is a lot of demand for crypto, and we don't want them to miss out on Qubic. We will also intensify the collaboration with ecosystem and marketing. So there are selected ambassadors that will be trained to support ecosystem services with, for example, business development, with partnerships, but also university relations. Retro already mentioned that amazing intro that Sean did, who's actually one of our community members to MIT, where we actually spoke with one of the professors about Qubic, and these are things that we need to see much more, or actually things that we would love to see much more. But yeah, what we would also like to do is to scale these largest successful initiatives that we already had, like the Madrid a hackathon, and making them more locally relevant, right? To making them also self-managed by the community. And it will this will require training. This will also require some some work, right? But this is stuff that is planned for season 3. And last but not least, like I think what we did really well in season 1 was the production of content. So we had a lot of people that were posting about Qubic, and one way how we actually managed this was through a tool which is called Zili. I think it's great for that, but we noticed that in season 2, I think we've attracted more entrepreneurial types that are more looking to build their own events, that are more looking to create their own local initiatives. So what we are planning to do in season 3 is to move more of those funds from Zealy to local communities, so that they have more of an opportunity to focus less perhaps on socials, but more on creating business relationships, or for example creating relationships with universities. And these relationships with universities might allow us to hire better talent, or to build academical relationships, or to be part of a curriculum, or to be part of a business case, for example. So yeah, I hope that these slides would actually have also given you some insights on what the ambassador program is working on. We hope to open new admissions within the next couple of 2 weeks if you are interested. That's it. I see that we're 50 minutes over time, actually. Like, this is supposed to fit in 1 hour, which we clearly, did not succeed in. But I do think that we all believe that an AMA is very important. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them here in the channel or on the in the AMA channel. I saw that one of the questions of Rain Erichain was, how do you see contributors like Schillers, content creators, and mods helping shape trust and adoption long term? Are there any unique roles or task-based paths in the ambassador program beyond just posting content? So yeah, I hope I just answered that question. But I think the ambassador program is a great way for you to start. I think there was another question. If Jose could tell us a bit more about his experience in Singapore. I think that question has been answered. Tier 1 exchange. Yeah, that's always an interesting question. There are tier 1 exchanges that are planned for this year. They are on the roadmap. But I think it's important to understand that the tier 1 exchange is not always in our hands, right? It depends a lot about the Qubic price. If the Qubic price is high, if we have a lot of volume, it's relatively easy for us to get listed. But if the price is low, if we don't have enough volume, there are very little tier 1 exchanges that want to list us. And if they do want to list us, we need a lot of money. Did I answer this question well, Albert, or is there anything that you might want to add?
Perfect. Yeah, I just want to add on top of what you said that the work is already done about T1 exchanges. We have talked with everyone. We have direct connection with them, and we know what they're looking for. In one hub, we have exchanges that they are willing to list us for free. But as you said, we need more volume. We need a better price action. And on the other hand, we have another exchanges that it's extremely expensive right now, and I think the effect it's not going to be very good. So it's something that we have done the work during the last month. So we just need to have a better price action on volume.
Indeed. Moving the mic to you, Jotom. Can Jotom say anything about network quality? Why is it down? Because somebody is tired about writing about the Qubic network. So what's up with the network quality? I think that's the question for you, Jotom.
I would say let them writing. No, yeah, to be well, let's start. Basically, the responsibility of network quality is on the computers. So they are the ones which are running the network and operating the network. What we can do from the technology side is that we help to analyze. We collect data from the nodes. We can analyze the data and see where could be the reason why, for example, nodes are not connected well or do not receive the votes in time or something like this. What we see right now with the network getting stuck is more likely due to the computers which are maybe trying new stuff. Maybe they are preparing for the Xamer, the Monero stuff from next week. So they're trying to deploy some optimizations or something like this. So that's what I guess, at least. So yeah, or summarized, it's basically, it could be that this is the price we have to pay for decentralization, because we as a core technology, we cannot control how they operate their nodes, and because all the Qubic core software is open source, so everybody can modify the parameters. They can even add additional functionality or remove something. And what is preventing the operators to do bad things is basically the revenue algorithm. I don't know what is the current average revenue, but it should basically reflect the network quality. Give me a second. I can check what is the current average. So the current average revenue is around 95%. So, and what we normally see is that it is almost 100, means that a lot of computers will, if it stays like it is now, will lose of revenue. What normally should lead into that they will also lose their place in the computers list and will be replaced by others which hopefully do a better job. Yeah, that's how Qubic works, and that's the reason why we, from the technology side, we can just help to analyze the situation, but we also highly depends on the operators, which share the information, which help to find if there is something going on wrong, and at the last stage, if there is something really bad, or if it is proven that there is some malicious stuff, then we have the arbitrator who could step in to solve the situation. So that's basically the situation on the network from my perspective at the moment.
Yeah, thank you so much. Albert, there was a question from Rock, who was asking, what are all the expected IPOs in Q2?
Well, we have Bottom, we have Nostromo, and we have Qsub. So we have three. So maybe Qubic, but they don't have. They already said that. Sorry, the Qubic NFT project. They do not have a tentative date, so maybe it's going to be for Q3. But at least we expect to deliver three IPO.
Okay, at least 3 is what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds
Just
good.
a note on this, like that's what we expect, but it depends on the teams that they like meet all the requirements to go. And that's why we also have the testnet procedure for 2 weeks to gather all the feedback. And again, we want the projects to succeed. They're aiming to, but again, it's on the teams to deliver. We will be fully transparent where they are. And yeah, it could be Q2, like that's what all the teams are aiming for. But again, I just want to very clarify that that's on the teams, and we will have the teams to go achieve that. But that's on the teams. I think that's the problem on the roadmap. That sometimes there are things on the roadmap that it's not that we can only execute, that like the exchanges, we also need other ones to also get in there. But yeah.
Thank you so much. Let me see if there were any other questions. Let's take the last 7 minutes. Some questions have already been answered. Did someone ask about tick quality? Yeah, I think that one was just answered. Blood Dream, if you have any other questions, let me know. Albert, is there any news about the US tier 2 that was already, paid for?
Well, we paid, but we have the refund of the money. So it was just a small amount that they didn't pay back, and they are integrating the Qubic into them. But we have lost faith of this exchange because it's taking so long. So you can imagine that they should have finished by December, and we are still waiting. So yeah, with some exchanges, it's very hard to work. But however, they told us the last time that it should be ready by May. So we will put a lot of pressure on them to meet the deadline that they say.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Two more questions. I think one from Crypto Radar. He's asking, why does the tick quality goes down every Wednesday? Totem. Not sure if that's true actually, but
The question is why ticket quality goes down every Wednesday.
yeah.
It's actually not the case.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe he means
but-
like, so maybe he's talking about the fork. Yeah.
The reason is just math. If you have very very easy example, if you have 100 ticks and you see like a few failed, then the percentage is much higher than if you see 1,000 ticks and a few failed. So because every Wednesday the calculation starts from scratch, from the beginning, that's the math reason why it starts lower than it was before the epoch change.
Yeah.
So maybe we could ask the Explorer team to just change it to a higher period. So let's not cutting on epoch change maybe, because it's basically not correct, to be honest. Yes.
Sounds good. Is there is there an ETA for change spec? Is the question from Retro. I think that question we go ahead, Jotam.
No ETA. From my side, I know that the dev team and our dev team and the chains backed dev team, they work together, so the integration is basically ready technically. So what we are waiting for is a good marketing moment when we want to go live or not. I think that's what we are on at the moment.
Thank you. Clear. Num is asking a question. Is it not possible to start a fundraising for a tier 1 listing? Yes, that is absolutely possible. We've done fundraisings actually before, for listings, but I think also going back to what Albert, also mentioned before, from our perspective, we don't think it makes a lot of sense now actually to list on a tier 1, also because we're not fulfilling all the criteria, right, in terms of volume, I think in terms of the price and the market cap, for example, that we currently have. But at least from this team perspective, if we believe that the time is there, then we will do it. We have all the connections with all the major players that or maybe the apps that you've downloaded on your phone. We're all in conversations with them. However, we are a community project, right? So if you feel the need, right, also to organize, the listing and to raise funds, you could hypothetically also do this also by yourself. But from our perspective, I think it's from the conversations that we're having, we're waiting, I think, for the right moment to potentially do that. I'm just scrolling down. Lazarus is asking again for you also, Jotom. Monero mining for next epoch is independent from the networks. He's asking if Monero mining is dependent from the network. I think that's what he's trying to say. I'm sorry.
If the question is related, if how high is the ticket quality, then no. It's basically Qubic is used as a communication layer, and the ticket quality doesn't say anything about if the network is online or not. So it's not about availability of the network. So we hear that already in the past, that people try to say, okay, the ticket quality is 60%, means the network has only 60% availability. That's not true, actually. So these are two different things. Means the network is online all the time. So I think we had no downtime in the last few weeks or months, except the updates on Wednesday, of course. That means that no, the XMR POC is not affected by a low ticket quality, for example. It's on another layer.
Yep, clear. All right. See a question from Qubic Maxi who's asking, is there any search for a team to do the QSwap UI?
Yeah, Talent, I will jump on that one to cover you. Basically, for the testnet, I will be doing the QSwap UI like MS Vault, but like right now we cannot get the pulled information. So I don't know if this will have any impact to change. They need to modify the smart contract. So until the smart contract is not fully 100% ready, a UI cannot be built. Or if you build an UI, then you will really need to remake it because yeah, those things need to be checked out. So in the meantime, I will be coding it. It will be fully usable. And if we feel that that's not enough or that I need help, we will get a supplier from the ecosystem team services budget to do the QSwap, or we'll talk with them. But right now, our core focus is let's have a fully usable contract, fully tested, have it on the testnet so everyone can play with it. And then I will build a UI so you can, like, our ideas for the testnet procedure, that when a contract goes in the testnet for 2 weeks, all of you can test it also through their app, or the app that I built for this case for QSwap, and you can tell us everything that you don't like. So before going to IPO, we have tested the full smart contract, we have gone full testing, and you have been able to play. And in the testnet, you'll have Qubic testnet tokens. It's like mainnet, but it's the place for you to play, gather feedback, and don't have any surprises later on.
All right, great. Thank you so much. All right, I will take the 3 more questions, if that's okay. And then we're going to end the stream. But obviously, if you have any more questions, you can leave them in the chat in AMA, and I'm pretty sure that all the speakers today will take the time to answer your questions over the chat. All right, let's see. Is MetaMask already working with Qubic? I was able to use it, but I haven't seen any announcement.
Yes, I
Alice.
want to jump in here. So we will make an announcement soon. We have 2 MetaMask snaps, one done by MonoApe and another done by Artec. We are writing like the differences, and we plan to give an announcement on these both MetaMask snaps. So yeah, you can see that they're working. We just need to announce some things that we just need to throw an announcement. So just give us a few days, and we also plan to create maybe channels for each one of the MetaMask snaps. But yeah, we have 2 versions, and both of them they're working.
Nice. All right. It's a question from Jort, and I think maybe this is a question that you have to answer also, Alesh or Elber. Is if there are any life signs in regards to Anna, and maybe I will also attach the other question to it. When do we get a trailer from iGarth?
I think this is a question for CFP. Better than us. So what I saw is that there were many work in the IGAR team, So, well, I don't know exactly, but I hope that it's going to be very soon. What I can see is that I see a lot of activity. That's the only thing that I know.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the next question. Any news on MLM? I actually asked PJ to present also today, and I don't want to, speak in front of his turn because he's very good, I think, in also presenting all the stuff that's happening on MLM. But I think what he mentioned is that there haven't been, major updates, and I think in 2 weeks when we're going to do our next all hands, I will ask him, again, if you would like to present on anything that is going on within MLM, but also. QCAP, for example, right? So he can also talk about that. So I hope that's okay. But otherwise, it might make sense just to send him a quick ping. All right. Last question from Num Num. You have an awesome, handle. Albert, I think this one is for you. What volume and market cap are the requirements from big exchanges, right? So what are the metrics that we are looking for? That we can confidently say, okay, we're going to list with this tier 1 exchange.
Okay, for the T1 exchanges that we want to be there, I mean, this is the one that they have organic volume, and also they list us for free. We should have at least around 20 million volume per day USD, and a market cap that is between 1 billion and 5 billion. 5 billion, ideally. This is the range that we have, but also there is subjective things such as metrics, for instance. We have QX, and we have total value lock. Well, it's not totally lock, but we have some part of the supply that it's in QM. This is a metric, and then we have the QX volume. This is also another metric that is important. That's why we are bringing Ethereum liquidity, Arbitrum liquidity. We want to integrate it because we want to increase the liquidity. Those are metrics that are also important. But to make a quick recap, 20 million volume per day, it will be enough. And also a market cap that is higher than 1 billion, 5 billion, ideally.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so I would like to thank all the speakers for showing up today and also preparing your slides for the community between all the other busy things that you're doing. I would like to thank everyone for visiting also the session today. The session is also recorded thanks to Sent. So I believe that once the session is over, he will post the link on the general chat. I believe the mods will then also pin it so you can also review it again. For anyone that has any additional questions for this group, please post them in the general chat or in the AMA channel, and then we will make sure to answer them as soon as possible. I would like to thank everyone for joining today, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.